Alon, watch Lon with the nasty bastard. I'm back with another chapter read from out of Ramses. Volume 1, Series 1. And, you know, I want you to always remember, we're pre-recording this, you know what I mean, and releasing it at a later date. So when I ask you, in the now, how your day going, how your things moving in your life, I sense a vibration of the struggle is based on decisions. You feel what I'm saying? And we all slide back. You get what I'm saying? We all are sliders. It's hard to stay on a productive path. We have temptation in us. We have a part of evil in us. You might want to toot your horn and say, nah, I don't do what they do. I don't do. Stop pointing the finger. Please stop pointing the finger. You get what I'm saying? Just because your mess ain't as big as their mess, don't mean you don't sin. You get me? Don't mean you don't sin. So I say this to you once again, life is, like Forrest Gump said, a box of chocolate. You open them jams up. You don't know what's inside sometimes. Sometimes you get a nice tasting cherry inside. Sometimes, you bite into a piece of chocolate and the cherry is stale. You get what I'm saying? Sometimes you bite into a piece of chocolate, the chocolate is stale. It has a bad taste to it. You feel what I'm saying? You could tell that it's been on that shelf for a while. But I just say this to you once again, your life travels, my life travels, our life travels, struggles, success is based on decisions. You get me? Decisions. You can make them fast. You can take your time and think things out. Me, I prefer to give the most complicated ones to whom I pray to. And I don't care on the time frame I receive them back. I don't care about that. I don't care about the time frame I receive my answer, because the decision I'm making is a long-term decision. Is a decision that grows in my life, that becomes permanent in my life. Most short-term decisions, I take a day or two, boom, 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 bam, bam, bam. Does it make sense? Not really. Does it make sense on the long-term point? Not really. Okay, do this for this, and then move on. You feel what I'm saying? You get it? When you see the confusion, move on. You get it? To break it down to those of you that probably never worked a day in your life, for those of you that always relied on going into these streets or some type of way doing something illegal to provide financial wealth in your home, in your life, things change. You get it? You may take some money, make an illegal investment. That's a short-term goal. You feel what I'm saying? That's a short-term goal. You dip in, you dip out. You get what you can get and you move on. You get what I'm saying? And for real, you shouldn't go back. You shouldn't touch back. You shouldn't. You shouldn't at all. You feel what I'm saying? You do what you do. You out there for a means. You give them MEANS. You out there for a means. And do what you gotta do, carry your butt somewhere, go on somewhere else, find you a job. You get what I'm saying? Find you a job. It's not, okay, I'm gonna hit this spot, hit that spot, backtrack to that spot. Who was waiting for you in that first spot, by the time you go back to that first spot, they there and they got you. Move on. You get what I'm saying? The money you make, you take that and you invest that legally. Legally, if you can, without a legal paper trail being put upon you. You feel what I'm saying? And you'd be surprised. You can take a quarter. You get what I'm saying? You can take a quarter. You'd be surprised. You can take a quarter and have some patience and have something. I mean, for real, have something. Have something. You get what I'm saying? You can take coins, put them in a jar, keep saving them. At the end of the year, you might got your rent money. It depends on how many coins you are saving. You get it? See, a lot of us want to think on a big scale. You feel what I'm saying? A major scale. Oh man, I want to do this big lick and we could be comfortable for years. Okay, but what you're not realizing about that big lick, there comes a big punishment. Big punishment. The same amount of years you're going to live off this big lick, you might as well go on times that times 10. You get what I'm saying? Let's say that big lick gets you 5 years. You get what I'm saying? So now you get ready to get 50 years if you get caught. Anywho, like I said, this is you're with the nasty pastor, and we in this reading of Ramses. This intro been long. Let's dive in and get some education. And we're still in chapter 19. A troop of slim girls went over a dance routine, wearing straight needle-length kilts with straps that crisscrossed over the shoulders, hair pulled back in bead-trimmed ponytails. They coordinated their acrobatic moves. Ramses had been admitted as a friend of Moses, a favorite with the harem dancers. Though today they did little to lighten his mood compared to his friend, Sitar was bluff. He had already found his true calling, studying snakes and dealing with the constant threat of sudden death. Moses wished he could also find his life's work, but instead he was caught in a tangle of administrative tasks. His performance was nevertheless so outstanding that he was slated for his own directorship once there was an opening. One day he promised Ramses, "I'm going to leave it all behind." "What do you mean?" "I'm not quite sure, but I do know I can't stand it here much longer. We'll leave together." A perfumed dancer brushed against the two friends, failing to raise their spirits. When the number was over, however, they let themselves be talked into staying for refreshments. By a blue-tinted pond, the dancers and their teachers showed Prince Ramses with questions about the court, his work as a royal scribe, his future plans. His answers were unforthcoming, almost curt. The disappointed girls started playing a game, quoting poetry. Their friends had to identify a good way to show off their literary knowledge. Come on now. I like that. That's like, what that game, cause we used to play. It's like a memory game. You feel what I'm saying? So a lot of things the old days of the before Christ days is very useful in the nowadays. You feel what I'm saying? Very useful. Very. Your mind is a terrible thing to waste. It's a terrible thing. You get what I'm saying? A terrible thing. And dementia is really detrimental to your health. You feel what I'm saying? To your health, for real, for real. Not just your mental health, but to your health, for real. You can kill yourself. Yeah, you can kill yourself when you suffer from dementia. You got what I'm saying? So that's something I like. You get what I'm saying? I like that about them because it takes me back to my childhood, for real, for real. We played a lot of board games. You know what I mean? We done made up games. We did I say this to you, you know what I mean? I love my brother and I'm thankful for my brother for many reasons. Even when I say to you, you know, we shared a room for many years and it felt like no one was else in there but me. There are more bad moments than good moments, but I hold on to the good moments. You feel what I'm saying? The good moments outweigh the bad moments. And see, that where the love, you get what I'm saying? That where the love show itself. You feel me? Anywho, let's dive back into this read. Ramses noticed the one of the group remained silent, younger than her companions with shiny jet black hair and blue-green eyes. The girl was stunning. What's her name? He asked Moses. Nefertari. Why so shy? Come on now. Come on, I like this. Now, let's pause this. I like this. Now we'll understand how Nefertari come into play, right? Come on now. Was that Ramses' wife? Let's Google this. You feel what I'm saying? Let's Google this. Oh, I got that spell wrong. Look, I'm gonna tell you how much Google is broke and been paid off. Listen to this. Not Ramses II's wife. Nefertari was not Ramses II's wife. She was the great royal wife of Ramses II. Come on now. Come on now, because I didn't put an extra S on there, I get a knot in front of it, right? Look, peep this out, right? Keep Googling, keep reading, keep understanding that there is bad information in the world, but now we get how Nefertari came in the picture. You feel me? Not Nefertiti, Nefertari. You get me? That was Ramses' wife. Alright, why so shy? She knew at the harem and she's new at the harem and comes from a humble family. Her gifts as a weaver are what brought her here. Now she's the best at everything. She tries, and the society girls resent her. The dancers decided to try their luck with the prince again. Was it true that he planned to marry Aset the Fair? Even so, a prince was supposed to have a bigger heart than other men, with whom Ramses turned his back on their teasing and took a seat beside Nefertari. My sitting here probably bothers you. Disarmed by his frankness, she gazed at him anxiously. Excuse the intrusion, but you seem so alone. I was only thinking, is there something on your mind? We have to write an essay on one of Ptah Hotel maxims. My favorite sage. Which one will you choose? I'm not sure yet. What are you studying here? Nefertari, floral design. I love arranging flowers for the gods, and I hope to spend most of my time in the temple. Let's pause right there. Let's get a understanding of Nefertari background. Nefertari, Athens, was all right. Was an Egyptian, so Kemite is correctly, African is correctly. You get what I'm saying? And you know, wasn't a Jew. as it says, a Egyptian. You feel what I'm saying? So, so they showing Nefertiti now. But Nefertari, she was a you know what I mean? She's from the Egyptian culture. She's from the African culture. You feel what I'm saying? And Moses, as you can see, Moses has played a part in introducing them. You feel what I'm saying? I like that. You feel what I really do. It's not a lot of information about Nefertari, but there may be, and I just haven't researched a lot of it. But where was she when he was making these decisions? I know in the movie, she came to him and said, you know what I mean, the babies are dying, Then, she had a real emotional breakdown when she saw that her child was dead. How much do you have to go through to listen to whom we pray? How much do we have to go through when whom we pray send you so many signs that's telling you, stop the BS. Stop it. You destroy yourself and everything you build around you, not listening. You get me? Not listening. The signs are there. It's all there. You get me? Me going back and forth to prison, the signs was there. Go on, get out these streets. Come on. You ain't even listened to me the day that I gave you the fruit. You get me? You didn't even listen to me the day I gave you the fruit to take some time off your hand. You understand? Some time off your hand. You listened to man. You had more faith in man than you had in me. Come on, so what you think I learned that day? Or what you think I learned? Or what I thought about and I learned during those 18 months of incarceration? Not to listen to man. You feel me? Not to listen to man if whom I'm praying to is explaining something to me. Listen to whom I pray to, because whom I pray to have my best interest at heart, not man. You feel me? Not man. And I get it and I understand it. And I say this to you once again, you know what I mean? What I go through with being a mental disabled person, if I could figure the tone, man, you're done. You're done. If I can figure the tone, you're done. Let's go and get back in this read. An ostrich existence for a young girl. I like meditation. It gives me strength. The sacred writings say the silence makes the soul grow like a flowering tree. The dance instructor was rounding up her students. They had to change before grammar class. Nefertari stood to go. Wait, may I ask you a favor? The teachers are strict. They don't like us to be late. Tell me which maxim you have chosen. Her smile would have melted the most hardened warrior. A perfect word is rarer than green stone. Yet the servant girl grinding wheat at the milestone may possesses it, airy and luminous, she vanished. Well, that's the end of chapter 19, and I'm very pleased. When these ancestors of ours present themselves in this reading. You feel what I'm saying? Because I'm very curious to how they met. Was this planned? Was this a planned wedding? Was this the dad, said he wanted making these choices for his son? You get what I'm saying? Or was he allowing his son to make his own choices? I'm very curious. You get what I'm saying? I'm very curious to how the thinking was before Christ. Very, very. It tells me something about me. It tells me something about how I was raised. It tells me something about how I raise my own kids. You feel me? Anyway, you've been with the nasty pastor. I'm out and I love you.